We had originally envisioned Harmony Acres being a place with a childlike heart, where people could connect with that natural joy and innocence that comes from being with animals. Of course, a huge part of this was creating a safe place for children where they can learn, grow, and recover from difficult events in their lives. Harmony Acres has 3 main programs for children: therapeutic riding, where we work with children who have disabilities; animal-assisted psychotherapy, working with children who are going through emotional difficulties, family difficulties, or childhood trauma. And we also have recreational program, and that's just for all children in general, to pair them with animals and all of the amazing benefits that come from that.
My granddaughter, Adeline, comes here every Friday. They help her a lot with speech and riding the horses she really enjoys, and they're really good with her. She gets really excited when we come out here. She's been talking a lot more. Josie and Alorraine are really good with her. She really likes them. They seem to step down to her level, and they laugh with her and everything, and so it's pretty neat to hear her giggle and talk a lot more.
We help use the horse to facilitate healing for the rider, whether it's body mechanics or how horses think or how horses communicate. It helps the human heal themselves.
Addie, she's had seizures since she was born, and so she's a little delayed, and Harmony Acres has been awesome with her. I think it's a good thing for her to come out here and work with the animals and just talk to different people, because she's extremely shy.
You know, a lot of it's just personal growth, and that looks different for all of us. People really learn how to connect, setting boundaries with a horse, which is necessary for safety, and transferring that to setting boundaries with people around them so they feel more safe. And a lot of that, there's like those aha moments with the kids and the horses, and learning to grow and how to build their communication skills.
I'd say Harmony Acres is a good place for kids or adults that have handicaps to come out. Everybody's really nice, really easygoing. They'll help you in any way they can.
Whatever you need, whether you need to cry or you need to laugh or you need to hold a horse or you need to work with a horse, whatever you need, if an animal can facilitate it, that's going to happen here. It's just a place of healing for everyone.
My daughter's name is Eleanor. She's 5½, and she was diagnosed last summer with severe ADHD and some other learning disabilities. And she's having a real hard time learning like self-control and things like that. So she's in a couple of other therapies, and equine therapy was recommended to us from her behavioral therapist, actually, and she recommended Harmony Acres.
We see kids as young as 4 and all the way up to teenagers, and as well as adults, but right now most of our clients are kids. And we're seeing a wide range of things that they need to work with, as everybody can imagine, with all the stresses that have been happening the last couple of years, and family dynamics and how it impacts the kids. And so they get to try some things with the horses. And so, you know, if you try something, even just in communicating and the horse isn't listening, you know, what else can we do to get them to pay attention, to listen, so that they can learn some skills that maybe they can use outside of the facility. We're trying to teach a client how to establish a relationship and what all is involved in that, from focus and awareness and trust and all of those things with whatever horse they choose. A lot of times the horses choose the clients, and it's uncanny because they choose just the right people.
It's actually really amazing. The people are all super friendly. Kathy did our walkthrough and introduced us to all the animals, and that's where actually the horse that she works with kind of heard her voice and came running out for her. It's like, well, I think you got picked by, I think somebody picked you, like you don't get to pick one. And she's been really excited to work with him. She talks about him all the time. When she does talk about him, she also calms down. So we've noticed a real difference in when because she's so hyperactive and she's got such a small attention span, but when she starts to talk about working with the horses, she calms down, and the more she talks, the calmer she gets. It gives her something to focus on and ground herself. And so all of a sudden, the thing that she's really worried about and obsessing about, it kind of gets forgotten and it kind of gets pushed to the side. So that's really been helpful. It's starting to transfer over, rather from just being here with the horses to everyday life. It's starting to transfer over, which is a big deal.
Well, what we find is that a lot of times the horses will pick up on where the clients are, even if they're not really sure, and especially with the younger kids. And if we can help the client bring their energy down a little bit, we'll see the horse bring their energy down and then maybe come in to connect. So they tend to reflect what the clients are feeling. And you know, if they're able to communicate and ask for what they need from a large animal, then that's a real skill to be able to take out in the community. So they get to practice that, practice with the horses.
Eleanor loves horses. She's always loved horses. So the fact that she gets to actually come out and put hands on one and, you know, tell him secrets, it's really helped her a lot. It's actually like a little hidden gem out here.
I really like to teach horse owners, not just horse riders. I really like to have kids that, you know, they're horse crazy, but let's put some action behind that already interest and drive for that. So I like to put in like a plan and action of actually the care of the horse. So we like to do everything from the grooming. We like to learn why we groom our horse, not just because it's fun. I really like the grooming aspect where we use it as a health check-in to like talk to our horse and see like, hey, are you feeling good today? How are you feeling? Are you feeling silly today? It kind of like helps them understand, you know, you do got to take these extra steps with your horse and or your pony to see how they're feeling and understand what they're communicating with you.
Well, one day my mom came home and she was like, hey, guess what? I signed you up for a class with Favorite Animal. And so then I just started vaulting. Running next to the horse, it's like, okay, I just gotta stay on the lead line. And then once you get to the horse, you're like, can I make it up? Can I make it up by myself? Do I need help? What if I fall down? And so you just gotta like push those worries out so you can actually focus on getting on the horse. The hardest thing for me is like getting my confidence up so that I can actually like do the moves, like stand up, things like that. And I don't wanna like fall over, and so I like can't get into them. So I just have to build my confidence up.
It's a really neat thing to watch and process because it always kind of ends up where these kids just fall head over heels in love with their horse or their pony. And it's really cool because we go from the first day where they're just learning how to safely maneuver and be around and communicate with their pony to where a couple weeks, and you see each week where they progress, where you have kids that are picking up their hooves, they're unhaltering and haltering, they're learning to saddle themselves, and you just watch their confidence as a whole person and a being come up, and you really watch these horses bring that out in them.
Challenging. It's been pretty fun too, and I definitely think I've grown a lot. I would say it's kind of a rush of thoughts. I mean, you're thinking so many different things, like, am I gonna fall off? What do I do? Am I running correctly? Is the horse moving too fast or too slow? Am I doing something wrong? But you just gotta go for it.
no matter what you're feeling that day, your horse is still there and they understand. And even if you don't know how you're feeling that day, they do. And they will almost put some clarity to how you feel. And sometimes it's really neat to see these kids, you know, they come in and they're just hyper and they're wanting to just be climbing up fences and they're just so excited they can't handle it. And then you bring the animal or the horse into the arena and you just feel this huge energy release and this it's just this blanket of healing that just comes in with these animals, and the youth and the kids just kind of channel into that, and you just watch these horses bring this peace out into everyone that's needed. Just seeing the dynamics here of how the animals really help you find yourself and how to maneuver through life. Pretty impactful, and it's a really beautiful thing.